Hello, this is Andy Hall, Dr. Kennard, Professor Kennard, Dr. Kennard, and this is the Disappointing Cat Morning Show, Christian Love. What is Christian love? There should be a Shakespearean poem, Ode to Christian Love. What is worth dog poo on a stick? Christian love. We're going to be talking about Christian love today, my friends. We're going to be talking about that. But first, let's do something funny.
Do you dream of cat butts? Cat butts in the air. Cat butts everywhere. There's always a cat butt in your face. In your face.
"4:30 this morning. Guess who was up? Because of his cat. I don't want to blame it on the cat, but it was the cat's fault that I was up at 4:30 in the morning. And my girlfriend's like, yeah, I knew she was meowing at 4:30 in the morning. I just went back to sleep. Well, thank you. Some of us, once awoken, cannot go back to the sleeps. And so that was me. All right, I tried to go back to sleep. But at 5, I just gave up. And so I wrote today's blog post. What was today's blog post? Laughing disbelief. It was 88% of white evangelicals support critical race theory. I thought it was funny. But hey, I hope everyone's doing well. I am doing well. Getting through the day, everyone. Getting through the day. Tobin Templeman. Hope you're doing well. John Hudson. So far, so good. You know, this morning is going pretty well for me, except being up at 4:30. Except for that. Simply Secular Dave. You know, Simply Secular Dave told me, all right, I'm not going to get into the conversation. The Simply Secular Dave, he shot me some information about a story we've been covering, but I'm going to get to that later on. In Wild Eden, hope you're doing well. Like I said, I'm doing well. I've discovered a new method of creating or writing these satirical bits. And that is when I'm really stuck, I just go on to Fox News. And typically, when I watch Fox News, less than 5 minutes, I get angry enough to write something satirical. So today it was critical race theory. Greg Abbott signing a piece of legislature outlawing the teaching of critical race theory in Texas schools, when of course he should be worried about his electrical grid. But that's all Republicans have. Is the social war issues, non-issues. All right, so what should we do? What stories are we covering today? Tucker Carlson? Turns out Tucker Carlson's kind of a narc. He's kind of all right, so he's not a complete double agent, but he's been giving people information. He's been a leak during the Trump administration. He has been leaking information to journalists. Who would have guessed? Let's see. Hate preacher. I guess hate preachers celebrate pride by celebrating the death of people within the community, the LGBTQ community. We're going to be talking about him. Proud Boys. Are Proud Boys all white supremacists? Well, we're going to be taking a look at Wisconsin, a Wisconsin chapter of the Proud Boys, and one man's dark journey, joining them and then getting out. The man lives in fear today. And the NFL, the first active player, who's on the field regularly, came out as gay recently. And we're going to be talking about them. So some good stories. And of course, we're going to be talking about COVID and the Delta variant and such stuff. And we will also be talking about a strategy on how to help convince people who are vaccine hesitant. Oh, are we going to be able to do all this in 1 hour and still do the after show at 10 o'clock? Yes. After show. It's an open room. Bring your issues. Bring your topics. Link is in the description. And also, all the links to the news stories that we're covering are in the descriptions. Let's do some memes. Oh, Derek Cruz. Didn't see you popped up. Hello, Derek Cruz. Hope you're doing well this morning, sir. Please hit the like button. See, I've been getting better. Thanks to Secular Dave. He's been helping me. And you all have been helping me, to tell you the truth, to help remind people to hit the like button. If you could do that, that would be fantastic, because when you hit the like button, what it does is that it helps spread this video in front of different eyes, right? It exposes the video. Wow, that sounds dirty. That sounds dirty. Basically, new people get to see the video and get to see the channel. So it would be good if you could hit the like button. It does help. All right, so you want to do memes? Let's do some memes. Let's see. This is an old one, but I still find joy in it, right? Jesus drove a Honda, but didn't talk about it. Quote, "For I did not speak of my own accord." John 12:49. And there he is, the Savior, right by his heavenly Honda. All right. You know, talking about Texas, were we just talking about Greg Abbott, Governor Greg Abbott, not helping in Texas? Yes. Texas should change the name of its power grid from ERCOT to Uterus. That way Republicans will feel the need to regulate it. I see what they did there. Not bad. Though, of course, they would probably mismanage the uterus too. And this one. Why does this cat look like he's about to confront me about my drinking problem? I don't know, to tell you the truth, but it does. It looks like a very judgmental cat. I don't know how they were able to get the picture of that cat. I guess the cat just likes to sit there sometimes. I don't know. But that cat does look like it's about to confront me. Not that I have a drinking problem. Did I tell you I'm going out for my yearly pub crawl this weekend? Because my birthday's up. 53 years old. I've been able to survive 53 years here, so far, right? I mean, I may not make it Saturday. Hopefully I will. But yeah, it's my birthday pub crawl. Maybe this cat has some words for me. Perhaps. The good thing about reconnecting or connecting with my birth mother is that she feels the need to say things like, "Andy, do you think you're a little bit too old for the pub crawl?" You know, someone being a voice of reason in my life. Maybe at your advanced age, maybe you shouldn't be pub crawling like you did 20 years ago. Maybe this will be the last pub crawl. I don't know, everyone. All right, checking out the comments. Haley and Glenn Chesterton. Hope you're doing well, both of you. All right, so what's this? What's the first story? Tucker Carlson being a snitch. Tucker Carlson, snitch. Yes, hard to believe that this fleshy face leaked information to journalists about the Trump administration. Links in the description, everyone. Fox News, Tucker Carlson is reportedly a primary secret, super secret source for journalists. I guess you have to know the secret handshake and I don't know. He's a super secret source, this guy right here. I guess he's no longer a super secret source for journalists. Despite going after journalists as animals, Fox News host Tucker Carlson is reportedly known to be a great anonymous source for reporters, including in unflattering stories about former President Donald Trump. So Tucker Carlson, apparently he just loves to talk and just loves to run his mouth. So he will share with reporters unflattering news, or he did share unflattering news about Donald J. Trump. The New York Times, Ben Smith, reported Sunday on Carlson's reputation as a source of gossip and insight into the Trump administration, and 16 journalists confirmed that the Fox host has been a great source, even though he publicly attacks the news media and accuses reporters of lying on his show. In Trump's Washington, Tucker Carlson is a primary super secret source. Michael Wolff, author of the 2018 book about the Trump administration, Fire and Fury, reportedly writes in a new essay collection. I know this because I know this because I know what he has told me, and I can track his exquisite, too good not to be true gossip through unsourced reports, and it often emerges into accepted wisdom. Tucker Carlson, are you going to be invited over to Trump's house anymore? Maybe not. Indeed, the Times writes that it's one of Washington's open secrets that Carlson spends time trading gossip with the media, and he's reportedly the go-to guy for sometimes unflattering stories about Trump. He's also reportedly a go-to source for stories about Fox News himself. CNN's Brian Seltzer, for example, told the Times that you can see Tucker's fingerprints all over the hardcover edition of his Fox News book Hoax. Though Stelter said he couldn't stomach talking to Carlson for the new paperback edition. And the Daily Beast's Maxwell Tani said that anytime a positive story about Tucker comes out, the Fox News executives assume he had a hand in it. Tucker Carlson, just a snitch. It's hard to believe that a person on the right, a so-called someone from Fox News, would be double dealing, right? Good morning, Dr. Mordecai. Glenn Jester said, it's not a drinking problem. Drinking is the solution. I hear what you're saying. I heard what you're saying. Is it true that Alexis Jones is taking over Hannity's show in the fall? I think that's a great premise for a joke, for a post on my blog, Laughing Disbelief. So I might just steal that, Dr. Mordecai. There's Tucker Carlson trading in information. What is he getting out of it? Do you think that Tucker Carlson is just such a narcissist that once he has information, he just can't keep it in, that he has to speak to people about it? I don't know. Glenn says, of course, he calls real news people animals since he has never nor never will be considered anything but a racist conspiracy, POS. Yes. John Oliver did a great bit on Tucker Carlson, a couple of weeks ago? Maybe a month or two ago. Definitely worth watching. All right, so what are we going to show? So we've been covering this story, everyone, as what? Many people here in the States are being vaccinated. There are many people who aren't. And the question is, how do we reach to those people who aren't hardcore anti-vaxxers, right? But how do we reach out to people who are just hesitant? There's a news clip, and this news clip does reveal a few of the principles that we've been talking about off and on actually, when we're talking about either deprogramming Christians, evangelicals, or people in cults, this is a tried and true method, and I just want to show how it manifests, how it looks in real life. So let me share this video with you all. Hitting a button. See, I've got White Girl Instagram going through my head from Bill Burnham. So here it is.
Dr. Kizzmekia Corbett, who developed the vaccine that became the Moderna vaccine, joined us at MSNBC's Town Hall Vaccinating America last month after Matthew Mallory asked a question of the experts on our panel. Matthew told me that he was still hesitant about getting the vaccine, but Dr. Corbett would not give up.
Where's Matthew?
Where is Matthew? There he is.
Hi, Matthew. I get it. I completely understand. From where I sit, I think I've realized that through this moment, I sit in a place of privilege where I have information on a day-to-day basis about these vaccines that the general person does not. But the one thing that reassures me constantly is seeing over time, more and more people getting these vaccines. The data are so clear and crisp in that they are safe and they are
All right, I just want to break it down a little bit, what she's actually doing, because she's doing a bunch of different things at once. One is that she empathizes with the gentleman about his hesitancy. She says to him, I know what you're saying. And then she basically tells him, I'm not any better than you are. So she empathizes with him. And then she says, I'm not better than you because I'm privileged, because I have this information. So she's placing herself on the same level as he is. So I would just want to point out those 2 points before we continue in the video. Oh, by the way, I just want to point out that she's smiling too. That she is smiling. And that's just as important, if not even more important than the other 2 points. Because most of our communication is done non-verbally, right? I think we all know that anyway. So she's smiling. She's empathizing with him by saying, I understand what you're feeling, what you're saying. And then she's saying, well, you know, I'm not any better than you. I'm from a position of privilege. And so we're just going to have a conversation like 2 people right here. She is exquisite at this too. All right, let's continue with the video, everyone.
That they are effective.
Dr. Corbett spoke with Matthew after the town hall was over that night and still couldn't convince.
Okay, so once again, she is placing herself in, maybe intentionally. I don't know how good she is, but she is intentionally placing herself at a lower position than he is. She is giving him the power, right? Because a lot of the times, people who are anti-vaxxers, it's about power over their own party, over their own body. They don't feel powerful in real life. And so at least they have power over their own body. And what she's doing right here in this image is that he has the power. He has the power.
Then a week later, Matthew and his mother, Dr. Joan Cephas, met Dr. Corbett at a Walgreens in Virginia, where they both received the Moderna vaccine that Dr. Corbett helped develop. Matthew and his mother appeared on this program that night from the Walgreens where they got vaccinated. Matthew, what are you going to tell your friends and family if they're wondering about getting the vaccine?
Go ahead and get it done. It's not that bad. Go ahead and get it done. It's not that bad.
So I just want to point out something else that's important. In case you know someone who was vaccine hesitant and then got the vaccine and can say those magic words, it wasn't that bad, that person alone can sway hearts and minds in helping to get vaccine hesitant people into line and getting the jab. All right, so I think that basically covers everything from the video that was important. Once again, smiling. The woman was brilliant at this. Smiling, empathizing with the other person, understanding that it can be a difficult, that it's a difficult position for them. You know, basically putting themselves and saying that I'm not any better than you. This is my, you know, what she said was that this is my privilege. I'm not implying that she's not any better than he is. And basically allowing him, recognizing that the vaccine hesitant person is the one with the power. And then once he did get his vaccine, basically getting him out there to tell other people who are vaccine hesitant, look, I got it done too. And I'm going to say the obvious thing. I haven't even looked at the chat right now. But people who look like a vaccine hesitant person, like if someone who looked like me did the same spiel to this gentleman and his mom, that may not have worked because we're tribalistic creatures, right? We know by counterinsurgency strategies that the way that you want to convince people within a certain tribe is to use people within that tribe to disperse information. Oh, my fictitious God, I hope all of that made sense. I hope you got some value out of that too, everyone. Checking the chat. Thank you, Robert X. Like, share, and or subscribe. Hit the bell. Do it. Wow, you do the hard sell, Robert X, and I do appreciate it. All right. Good morning, Jessi Bear. Good morning. How are you? Rage. Good morning, sir. So I thought I had to share that with you because she epitomized a great strategy in reaching out to vaccine hesitant people. That's good. That's good. Thank you for saying that, Wild Eden, because even though it makes sense to me, I don't know if it makes sense to all of you. So thank you for saying that made sense. What's up, B? Hope you're doing well. Okay. I read this first, Dr. Mordecai, as a FB, like Facebook hostage negotiator. Thank you for the kind words. All right. So what's the next story? All right. Too early for the tummy rub show. Let's do the next story. And what is that? Hate preacher. Wow. Who would have thought that? It's Pride Month, but the hate preachers still hate preaching. No, that does not sound right. They love preaching hate. That's what I'm saying. Now, who would think that this gentleman here would be the voice of Christian love? And we all know what Christian love is, right? Do what I say, or you go to hell. Love me, or be punished. That's Christian love in a nutshell. Let's see what this guy's all about. Hey preacher, this is from Hemet Meta, the friendly atheist. Hey preacher celebrates the death of a gay man at a pride parade. I hope they all die. Jonathan Shelley is the pastor of Steadfast Baptist Church in Hurst, Texas, of course, near Fort Worth. It's one of those new independent fundamentalist Baptist churches that are the offshoots of Stephen Anderson's church, and Shelley previously made headlines in 2019 when he said rebellious children should be executed. That's in Deuteronomy, I believe. Chat, I believe the child who is giving their father a hard time can be brought up to the city elders and stoned at the front gates of the town that they live in. That's paraphrasing the verses, but I think I got the basic truth there. Yesterday, he went even further than that. Rather than talk about theoretical deaths, he flat out celebrated the actual deaths of the LGBTQ people, including one person who was accidentally hit by a truck at a pride parade in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And he told his congregation that he hoped all LGBTQ people were killed. Well, this is his quotes. It is going beyond just saying that you do all this wicked stuff. It's saying that you enjoy it. You enjoy murder. You enjoy malignity. You enjoy hating God. So you see how he's equating being in the LGBTQ community with killing people. Because that makes sense. In the Christian love kind of model, as we all know, Jesus said, all sins are the same in the eyes of God. So murder is the same as telling a lie. Look, there's only one group that enjoys that. It's the pride parades going up and down the street. And it's great when trucks accidentally go through those, parades. I think that only one person died, so hopefully we can hope for more in the future. You say, well, that's mean. Yeah, but the Bible says that they're worthy of death. Well, he is right about that. You say that is Christian love right there. You say, are you sad? Wow, I'm not going to say that. I say, no, I think it's great. Well, we know I don't have to get through all this, right? This hate-filled idiot. Pastor Shelley, Jonathan Shelley. I think Shelley probably got teased a lot for his last, when he was growing up, because his last name sounds like a girl's first name. Because that's what happens, right? A lot of these hate preachers, they were just bullied probably when they were younger. Maybe suffered some head trauma. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if Pastor Jonathan Shelley comes up in the next couple of months, and maybe in a year or two, or sometime in the future, sometime in the future, that he is one of those perv pastors that leaves his cell phone to secretly record people in bathrooms and does some kind of pervy stuff. All right, gonna check out the chat before going on to the halftime tummy rub show. Sounds like a decent, solid, decent person indeed. How can, yeah, that's exactly what saying decent people say. Well, I think for the hardcore, John Hudson, I think you're right. For the hardcore people, you start seeing people, unfortunately, close to them within their family dying from the variants. It is unfortunate. We're going to actually be covering the Delta variants after the halftime show, after the Tommy Rupp show, and talking about it. And Wild Eden, yeah, that is the strategy, right? The strategy of just that we talked about from the last story. Whenever you need to reach out to a group of people that you're trying to sway the hearts and minds of. Hey, Sammy Jenkins. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Shelley, yes, he is part of the new Independent Fundamentalist Baptist. And Ray says, I've covered him extensively. He did Bible burning where he burned every translation but the KJV. Yeah, KJV, King James version of the Bible's the one true Bible, right? All right. You're probably right, Glenn, that there's something shady going on with Pastor Jonathan Shelley's Venmo account. All right, is this the time? Is this the moment that we do the halftime Tommy Rupp show? Sure. Maybe I should just rebrand the show, the halftime show, and just sell ad space, right? If you want to if no one wants to really advertise on the show. But otherwise, I could just say it's like the Toyota-thon halftime show. All right. Hey, Blazing. Sorry, I'm late. Someone has to keep the place. Oh, I understand. All right. Halftime. Tommy Rupp show, everyone. Let's do this thing.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to take out the... Are you kidding me?
There are more than 3,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's story time for us.
In my closet, under my sheets?
Well, yeah, you're vacuuming, so we had to find somewhere else to...
Okay. You know what? I'm going to the mall.
Okay, bye. Hey, guys, what are we doing?
I wonder what they're reading. I don't know. Something cat related. When the girlfriend and I leave the house, there are times that we'll just turn on YouTube and put on one of those cat friendly videos, birds, mice. The cat seems to like it quite a bit. Halftime show. Yeah, the halftime show brought to you by the Church of Satan. Yeah, more of a Satanic Temple person myself, but I'm sure maybe Church of Satan. All right. Oh, Blazing. I know what they're reading. The Cat-holic Bible, indeed. Puss in Boots. I like that, Paul Camish. All right. So let's do, what is the next show? Not the next show, but the next story. Oh, Proud Boys. Proud Boys. The Proud Boys. Little hate group named the Proud Boys. They joined the Wisconsin Proud Boys looking for brotherhood. They found racism, bullying, and anti-Semitism. It's actually a lot more than that, everyone. But it's the rule of three. Do you ever know this rule called the rule of three? It's basically a comedy bit. It's a something you make a list of three, and the first two are the setups, and the third is the punchline. You see me do it in my blogs all the time. But all right, so that was a quick diversion about how to write comedy. Let's get into this story. This gentleman, Daniel Berry, a former member of the Wisconsin chapter of the Proud Boys, says he stays up each night to keep an eye on his home after receiving death threats for his plans to talk to USA Today. Links in the description. This is a long story. I'm only giving you the highlights, but it is a sad tale of a person who was seeking brotherhood, who was seeking some kind of community. He got himself into the Proud Boys, and he got himself out of the Proud Boys, and now he's paying the price. Berry and another recruit, both white, middle-aged conservatives, said they hoped the chat room, which of course, that's like the gateway drug, right? The Proud Boys basic chat room. And that the chat room would be a place to discuss issues such as border security and gun rights. Berry said he was looking for somewhere he could be himself, a safe space to discuss conservative and libertarian politics outside the confines of his home, where his views often clashed with his left-leaning wife. There is so much in that where his views clashed with those of his left-leaning wife. Who I want to talk to is his wife. His wife seems to be someone who is pretty rational. All right, she's married to him. This guy's ex-military. No surprise there. He probably wasn't such a wannabe, right-winger when she first married him. But because of her husband and his idiot choices, now she lives in fear too. So the Proud Boys, they have a system of indoctrinating people. You go through the initial chat room, right, where you have to basically participate. It isn't just the fact that you're in the chat room and you're observing things. You have to participate too. But once you get through the first chat room, and if you passed the face-to-face conversations and the grilling and the questioning by one of this elder Proud Boys, you get to go into the second Telegram chat room. And that's when crazy time starts happening. The second chat room was swamped with every type of shocking content imaginable. The trigger warnings, everyone, just trigger warnings, all right? The men said, and participants posted photos and videos of people getting killed and seriously injured. The images flowed in a septic tide of racist, anti-Semitic, and homophobic banter. And also people defecating, explicit pornography. And if you're in this second chat room, you are expected to contribute. You're expected to take little videos of yourself saying, yay, yay, Proud Boys, totally support this content. That, of course, the Proud Boy elders would hold against you. They would record it. They do they do screenshots of what you write in that second chat room so that they can hold it against you later on in case you want to leave. It's quite like religious indoctrination into these cults. One of the men who spoke with USA Today described the content. See, this once again, trigger warnings, everyone. Muslims being set on fire, blown up, check. Memes intended to laugh at Holocaust era Jews, check. I'm going to the second paragraph. The images and memes, examples of which were shared with USA Today, didn't drive away Berry or the other two men. They said they've heard plenty of racist and homophobic comments in their mostly white communities. Those of us here in the States who are even, I live in a blue state. I live in heavily blue areas, but I have heard crazy stuff coming out of people's mouths. I probably have at least a good 25 minutes of stand-up material, spoken word material on some of the insane things I've heard over my time. And the thing is that these gentlemen who wanted to join the Proud Boys didn't walk away while being in this second chat room that's full of homophobic, anti-Semitic, misogynistic is just a pale term to use. They decided that they were still in it to win it. The recruiting process the men described is similar to ones used by white supremacist organizations for the past couple of decades, said Armanath. I am not going to pronounce the last name. I'm sorry. I just can't do that. An assistant professor in the School of Religion at Queen's University in Ontario, Canada, who researches terrorism and radicalization. Like most extremist groups in the USA, the Proud Boys primarily attracts young white men who believe they're joining a powerful political force that will fix the problems of the world. The professor said the Proud Boys, like other racist groups, cloaks its ideology to draw in recruits and then reveals its racist side once members are reeled in. Where have we heard this story before? Christian love, the idea that Jesus loves you. This I know, because the Bible tells me so. And then when you start learning, oh, Jesus loves me, but I'm probably going to hell, or I'm a piece of crap, born with original sin, or that I need to love Jesus more than my parents, more than my wife, more than my children. But it all starts off with Jesus loves me. It all starts off with the soft sell. They bring you in, and then they start telling you the reality of what they believe. Since contacting USA Today, Berry has been publicly disavowed by the people who had invited him to become a brother. So Barry decided that this was not for him. At a certain point, he decided that this is just insane. He reached his breaking point. To become an official member of, I didn't put this in the slide, but this is crazy. So you are expected, because I don't know how much everyone knows about gangs, about the policy, about the tradition of jumping in. When you actually become a gang member, typically other members of the gang will kick you and beat you for a set period of time, so that you are in, this is your initiation into the gang. The Proud Boys, or this particular chapter of the Proud Boys, had something similar to that, where you would be punched by members while you recite, and I swear to my fictitious God, this is true, while you recited the names of 5 breakfast cereals. So you'd be saying Captain Crunch and they'd punch you, and Frosted Flakes and they'd punch you. And why would they do that to breakfast cereal? Breakfast cereal is so pure sugar, bad for you, sure. But why would they associate pain and suffering with breakfast cereal? They're just evil people, everyone. Once again, I'm not making this up. Links in the description. So he got out, Barry got out, and he has been publicly disavowed by the people who had invited him to become a brother. In late May, a blurred copy of his driver's license was posted on the Wisconsin Proud Boys public Telegram channel. It was accompanied by a message posted by D-Bow, deriding him and threatening to share videos Barry posted. Barry said he heard from someone inside the Wisconsin Proud Boys that his life has been threatened. He stopped leaving his house when his wife is home. He sleeps during the day and keeps vigil at night, walking the perimeter of his property and relying on his guard dog to warn him of intruders. Is he being paranoid? He's going national with this story, him and a couple of other guys. I don't know if he's being paranoid or just being smart, or maybe he should just move. Maybe he should just move if he has the possibility of doing it. Okay, let's talk about the Klan for a minute. Many of you probably don't know this. And yeah, I'm giving away the next slide, everyone. But the Ku Klux Klan was originally a fraternity developed by Nathan Bedford Forrest, a cavalry officer in the Confederate Army. And originally, it didn't start off as being explicitly anti-Black. But things escalate quickly when you have a bunch of idiots together with too much testosterone. Let's check out the next slide. Darrell Lamont Jenkins, who has tracked extremists since the 1980s, said the origin story of the Proud Boys, that they're a drinking club that got out of hand and became political, sounds familiar. At the outset, Jenkins said the Ku Klux Klan were basically just old Confederate soldiers who needed to blow off steam, who needed to have some sort of fraternal organization that they wanted to belong to so they could maintain their camaraderie that they had during the Civil War. Before long, Jenkins said the Klan became more of a political, darker, and more hateful, a terror group that intimidated, attacked, and killed Black people. It's the same exact origin story. You can't get knuckleheads together, toxic masculinity. They get together and then they just become a hate group over time. At least that's what happened with the Proud Boys and the Ku Klux Klan. All right, 25 comments in the chat. I have to see what's going on here. Serial killers indeed. Well, that's what it is, Jessi Bear. You hit it on the head. Sausage party of angry, straight, cis, white, uneducated men is always bad news. Yep. Hey, what's up, KCA Randy? Hope you're doing well this morning. Well, you're right on, Robert X. You are free to leave, but we will screw you over. And that's completely a cult check right there. Hey, Slade. Hope you're doing well. No, Dr. Mordecai. Girls cannot join their club. They are the Proud Boys. Oh, man. All right, so I think am I caught up with everyone in the chat? I think. Oh, John Hudson. Yeah, the Proud Boy thing. There's some homoerotic stuff, man. All right. I have seen the Spa Day video, by the way. B was talking about the tummy rub show, the halftime tummy rub show. But yes, I have seen the Spa video of that was pretty funny. Yeah, so that's part of the jumping in. It's they say that they're Proud Boys, that they're Western chauvinists, but they're taking the rituals, right? The rituals from gangs, and they're incorporating it into their own system of indoctrinating people in. Man, it does. It sounds like Scientology when you're leaving, because what happens when you're on this Telegram chat room? You are expected to make videos of yourself saying hateful things, horrible things, and of course these are recorded so that the Proud Boys elders can use them against you in case you ever want to leave. Wow, crazy stuff. Gonna breathe. I'm gonna breathe a bit. How are we doing for time? All right. What's the last? Oh, I'm gonna end the show with something positive. I'm gonna end the show about the NFL player who just came out, and the NFL seems to be quite supportive of him. And this is fantastic news. But first, ladies and gentlemen, small furry animals. Was that a Hitchhiker's reference? I think it might have been a Hitchhiker's reference. Let's take a look at this video about the Delta variant. Oh, I have to start hitting buttons again. All right, here we go, everyone. And are we ready? I think we're ready.
As our nation returns closer to pre-pandemic life, tonight the Delta variant is COVID's most serious threat, the most dangerous strain so far, now contributing to a rise in infections in 8 states. Just as concerts sell out and summer crowds return to popular venues, the unvaccinated could prolong and exacerbate the pandemic.
It's starting to accelerate really quickly in the U.S. So last week, about 10% of the virus isolates were the Delta variant. Now it's up to 19%. So it seems to have pretty regular doubling.
While 65% of adults are at least partially vaccinated, the Delta variant has now been detected in nearly every state and is gaining a stronger foothold in regions highlighted here with low vaccination rates.
So I just want to pause that right there. So, you get the Bible Belt, you get the diabetes belt, you have the uneducated belt, you have the no healthcare belt, and of course this is also the Delta variant belt here in the States. All right, I just wanted to point that out. We'll continue the video.
In Missouri, the Delta variant has been found in wastewater, showing its vast community spread.
It's coming. You're at risk. You're a sitting duck if you're not vaccinated.
Across the country, the vaccine holdouts remain the young. Less than 40% are inoculated, compared to more than double that rate for seniors. But perhaps those most in jeopardy are children under 12 who can't yet get vaccinated.
When you're vaccinated, you serve as a wall, as a barrier to infection coming into your home, into your community. The more of us that can get vaccinated, the bigger of a wall we can build around our children who are still too young to get vaccinated. It's how we protect our kids.
Described as COVID on steroids, the Delta variant is fueling the next wave of cases here in the U.S. But experts say if enough people get vaccinated, there won't be a surge.
All right.
Thanks for watching,
Gary. We could overlay that map, Jessi Bear, on a political map, and I'm pretty sure it'd be a one-to-one relationship between the really infected areas, out of control areas of COVID-19 with red counties. I don't know how to pronounce your name. X. Yeah. The crazy walk munch. Yeah. So let's see where hit that like button, slackers. Well, that I'm not going to argue with that, B. I think that's a good policy. That is a good policy. All right. So what's the last story? NFL player who's a consistent player on the field just came out as gay. came out in as a member of the community. Nazib, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Nazib becomes the first active NFL player to come out as gay. Congratulations. Las Vegas Raiders. You know, I would not have thought a Raiders player would come out as gay as the first person, but you never know, right? You learn, you live and you learn. Las Vegas Raiders defensive end Carl Nazib on Monday became the first active NFL player to come out as gay. Nazib, who was entering his 6th NFL season and second with the Raiders, announced the news on Instagram, saying he wasn't doing it for the attention, but because he felt representation and visibility were important. I just wanted to take a quick moment to say that I'm gay, Nazib said in his video message from his home in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I've been meaning to do this for a while now, but I feel comfortable enough to get it off my chest. Nazib, whose announcement came out during Pride Month, added that he was donating $100,000 to the Trevor Project, a nonprofit that seeks to prevent suicides amongst LGBTQ youth. The NFL family is proud of Carl for courageously sharing his truth today. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said in a statement, "Representation matters. We share his hope that someday soon, statements like his will no longer be newsworthy as we march towards full equality for the LGBTQ plus community. We wish Carl the best luck for the season." The NFL, they just need good news. They just need to come on. Hunter S. Thompson, let me back up a little bit. Hunter S. Thompson once said, I think it was in The Great Shark Hunt, his book, that the NFL is the closest thing the United States of America has to a fascist organization. Times have changed, of course. The GOP has filled that role. But yes, the NFL has needed good news because they've had a lot of bad news. People just aren't watching as much anymore. Players, it's shown that players just get brain injuries from playing the game. And of course, Colin Kaepernick. So you could see how Mr. Goodell would want to get behind Nazib. More than a dozen NFL players have come out as gay after their careers were over. Former University of Missouri defensive star Michael Sam was the first openly gay football player ever selected in the draft, going through the 7th round to the then St. Louis Rams in 2014, but he never made the final roster and retired in 2015, having never played an NFL regular season game. So congratulations, Mr. Nazib, for coming out of the closet. Scapegoat Iscariot, hope you're doing well. Well, yes, Dr. Mordecai. Goodell. I'm sure Goodell had people. He just said, write something positive. Write something positive. Well, you're right about this, Jessi Bear. The Pop Warner, I guess that's what Little League football is. It's Pop Warner football. Kids' football programs have taken a nosedive since the science came out. People thankfully love their kids more than sport. The youth football has taken a nosedive because of the brain injury issue. And you have people like Tom Brady saying that, if you're a kid, you really don't have to start doing contact football until what did he say? High school? I think it was either middle school or high school. I remember when he said that. It was not popular. Okay, everyone. I think we covered so much today within less than an hour. We covered Tucker Carlson being a narc, leaking information to journalists, hate preaching. Talk about what exactly do the Proud Boys do to get people into their organization and their rituals. That Wisconsin chapter of the Proud Boys, bad stuff. And of course, the NFL player who came out as gay, active NFL player who came out as gay. We talked about the Delta variant. We talked about how to talk to people who are vaccine hesitant. And I think it was a pretty good video, and I thought I did a pretty good job breaking it down, to tell you the truth. All right, let's do something funny before we do the after party after show. Sure. It wasn't cat related, but still, how does that not? How doesn't it make you feel good? Just seeing an otter break the crap out of ice cubes and just having fun. Love otters. All right, everyone. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for contributing. If you want to join us on the panel for the after show at 10 o'clock, there's a link in the description that you can join us in the backstage. And we'll start up at 10 o'clock. It goes from 10 to 11. We'll just talk about whatever topics you want to talk about. I'm just here to have a fun time. Take care, everyone. I'm going to show you the video of thanking my video. I have patrons. I have YouTube members, and thank you all for your support. I do a lot of work. You know, even that like 3-minute Father's Day video that I did, that I dropped on Father's Day, which I thought was pretty decent and funny. That took a while to write. It took a while to edit. It took a while to film. And so you may say, wow, Andy just pumped out like one video on Sunday and it was only 3 minutes long. It's like, it was good though. It was good and took a lot of time and effort into it. You know, the blog post, everything I do. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for hitting the like button. Gonna check out the chat one more time before I go. Oh, that was, thank you, Scott dear. I really like the otter, yeah. And so I do not think it was that great. Always someone in there not exactly happy with the otter. Too bad. Okay, so hey, let's do the thank you video and I'll see you on the other side at 10 o'clock. I think Dave is just trying to shame us again with his how awesome Canada is. I can see seals and river otters from the docks I work at, and sometimes orcas and humpbacks. I got some Canada envy. I got some Canada envy. That's what I have. I'll see you at 10 o'clock, everyone.